What's going on YouTube? It's your buddy Will from the What's Up in the Sky 37 channel, online as always at www.whatsupinthesky.com. If you are new to my videos, I have about 600 now behind me for you to go check out. Mars, Moon, space anomalies, space news, and it just so happens you have tuned into a extra weird space news tonight. Let me tell you what. I have not gotten so many emails in a while. Lately, I've been getting, I always give Will at willforr.net. If you have anything weird, anything to do with space, even stuff about Earth you want me to take a look at, send me the pictures, send me the information. I always take a look at it. I might not get to it right away, but I always give it out. My contact information is on whatsupinthesky.com. Most of you have my Facebook. It's Will Farrar. You can find me very easily. Um, but this stuff, I have never gotten so many emails about these two next articles we want to take a look at. The whatever is out there, the most mysterious star in our galaxy, that's this Kepler telescope has basically been sitting there looking into a patch of space, and there's a star out there that some astronomers are saying it could be some sort of Dyson sphere or some sort of really. It's a star just like our own, and it has something really tight that's orbiting it, and they think it could possibly be extraterrestrial. Now, I've got, let's see, I've got audio, or we're gonna have some video from Professor Michio Kaku. He talked a little bit about it, and whenever he's out talking about it, it's definitely hit the mainstream. He's a theoretical, I think he's a theoretical physicist, if I'm not wrong, but he's a professor. And also, we've got space.com articles about it. And then the other weird thing, this China floating city. I've got so many emails about what's up in the sky. I guess let's talk about what's up in the sky. A lot of people are saying it's a mirage. Pretty darn cool either way. And if you haven't seen this, I'm glad you've tuned in to take a look at it, because we're going to take a quick look at it. Then I'm going to show you basically a couple articles about mirages and the green flashes. And we're not going to go over it too much. As always, I give you the link so you can check this stuff out yourself. I'm just turning you on to it because that's what you come here for. That, and you come on to check out the awesome Mars, Moon, space anomalies. 600 videos in. I can't believe that I've made 600 videos of me sitting here looking at images and talking to you. So if you're new to the channel and you're like thinking, man, there's some pretty cool anomalies, go back 3 years and start. There's some people that are going through them all right now. They're commenting as there goes. So I basically downloaded this PDF file. Let me read this to you a little bit. In the northern hemisphere sky, hovering above the Milky Way, there are two constellations. Cygnus the Swan are outstretched in full flight, and Lyra, the harp that accompanied the poetry in ancient Greece, from which we take our word lyric. Between these two constellations sits an unusual star, invisible to the naked eye, but visible to the Kepler Space Telescope, which stared at it for more than 4 years, beginning in 2009. We've never seen anything like this, says Tabitha. I'm not going to say her last name. I'm not sure how to. A postdoc at Yale. It was really weird. We thought it might be bad data or movement on the spacecraft, but everything checked out. Kepler was looking for tiny dips in light emitted by the star. Indeed, it was looking for the dips in more than 150,000 stars simultaneously. So this thing wasn't just looking for this one star. Basically, it's looking at a patch of, like say here's a patch of space out here, and basically it's staring at it and it keeps an eye, and I do believe it's done in infrared, and it watches when, say we have a star here, and just like our star, you've got stuff orbiting your star, and you look for planets that cross it. So you'll see these dips in light that come across it. And so here we go, let's pick this back up, because these dips are often shadows cast by transiting planets, especially when they repeat periodically, as you'd expect if they were caused by orbiting objects. Just like here, we can pretty much put almost all of our planets in a schedule. We know when they're going to be doing it. So just for watching for 4 or 5 years, I think it's been 3 years, you could pick up a lot about each star. That was the genius of the Kepler Space Telescope and how we look for interesting places. So the telescope collected a great deal of light from all those stars it watched, so much light that Kepler's science team couldn't process it all with all the algorithms. They needed human eye and human cognition, where for me is unsurpassed in certain sorts of pattern recognition. It's funny how they say it about that, but when they talk about our Mars and our Mars and Moon anomalies, it's the other way around. And especially when it comes to this, a program that asks for, all right, well, Kepler's astronomers decide to found Planet Hunters, a program that asks citizen scientists to examine light patterns emitted by the stars for the comfort of their own homes. I would love that NASA fund something or start something for the people who are looking into the Mars stuff. I mean, we could really tear into some actual Mars data. That's a whole nother subject. But in 2011, several citizen scientists flagged one particular star as interesting and bizarre. The star was emitted as a light pattern that looks stranger than any of the other Keplers watching. The light pattern suggestion there's a big mass of matter circling the star in a tight formation. That would be expected if the star were young. When our solar system was formed 4.5 billion years ago, a messy disk of dust and debris surrounded the sun. Before gravity basically organized it into planets, rings of rock and ice. But this unusual star isn't young. If it were young, it would be surrounded by the dust that would give off the extra infrared light. There doesn't seem to be any excess infrared light around the star, thus not being any dust. Just this thing right here. So this appears to be a mature star. Um, and yet, this mass is object is circling a mess of big enough to block a substantial number of photons that would have otherwise beamed into the tube of the telescope. If blind nature deposited this mess around the star, it must have done so recently. Otherwise, it would have been gone by now. Gravity would have consolidated or it would have been sucked into the star and swallowed after a brief fiery splash. So it looked like the kind of thing you might expect an alien civilization to build. Now this is coming out on mainstream stuff, a really big push lately. So here's the paper right here. It says the Yale postdoc who oversees these planet hunters, this is the name of planet hunters, recently published a paper, and there's going to be a link to this PDF in there for my science buffs who want to go ahead and take a look at it. And the paper finds each explanation wanting, save for one, if another star had passed through the unusual star system, it could have yanked the sea of comets inward. Providing there was enough of them, the comets could have made a dimming pattern. But that would be an extraordinary coincidence. If that happened so recently, only a few millennia before humans developed the tech to loft the telescope into space, that's a narrow band of time, cosmically speaking. It's only been there for, 3 or 4 years. And yet the explanation has to be rare or coincidental. After all, the light pattern doesn't show up anywhere else across the 150,000 stars. We know that something strange is going on out there. Okay? So when I spoke to, okay, I don't want to say the name, I'm just going to try it, Boyajin on the phone, she explained that her recent papers only review natural scenarios, but she said there were other scenarios she was considering, just as we're going to hear Mr. Kikuya in a second talk about, Professor Kikuya talk about exactly what the same thing here, what these other things may be. So they're now working with Wright and Andrew Seaman, the director of SETI. They're going to they're looking to beam the radio dish there. They want to see if we have TV too, or radio and stuff like that. We're going to try and point it at this part of the sky where Kepler's found and see what we can find. So what a very interesting thing. And this, like I said, you guys have been blowing me up with it because it's been hitting the mainstream news just like all these other articles. It's almost like we've gone from a very slow disclosure up to really, really fast from the Mars, Pluto, all this information just coming out at once, unrolling. Um, Very interesting times to be living in. So now, since that's happening, this is talking about how they're going to go ahead and start looking for them. They're going to be using the Allen Telescope Array, a system of radio dishes about 300 miles northeast of San Francisco, to hunt for signals coming from the vicinity of KIC 8462852. That is the Kepler number of this star. And now they're going to try and see if they can find anything else out of it. And let's go ahead and, so I think you guys pretty much, you got the gist of it. Most of you have already probably looked at this and know exactly what I'm talking about. But as always, the links will be below. Now let's listen to what our boy here has to say. I think I've got it set so it will actually Um, you'll be able to hear them, but let me shut up just in case.
What we're speculating, we've ruled out all the usual suspects, rogue planets, comets, asteroids. What's left but Star Trek? We're talking about what is called a Type 2 civilization that could build a gigantic sphere, perhaps bigger than Jupiter, to absorb starlight. And this, of course, is right out of science fiction, but here we are staring at it, and we have no logical explanation other than to assume that perhaps, just perhaps, it's made by a civilization a few thousand years more advanced than ours, like the Federation of Planets. Wait, does that...
Okay, so let's go back there and look at that.
Like the just perhaps...
All right, so possible explanations: disintegrated comets, orbiting star, debris from inside the asteroid belt, debris from a planetary collision, artificial megastructures. So they got that at the bottom, but he's very excited about it. It's almost like we're taking the threat of aliens being, we're finding all sorts of stuff on the moon, Mars, Pluto, Ceres, anywhere we look. Saturn, we found stuff on Mars's moons. Phobos. I mean, anywhere we have looked, we have found signs of life at some time, had been there, either mining, living, who knows what was going on, thinking outside of our box. So it's almost like now they've taken it and put it just a little bit out there. Maybe it's a little bit they're thinking it's a little bit safer to, when they're not right here at arm's length, but really getting close. I feel like there's just this speed, like this really, really speed up, whatever we call it, just flying towards disclosure, or whatever the truth they're going to give us is. Like I said, who knows who's actually driving the train and where the train's going. So Gizmodo did a great article here. What are the odds of an alien megastructure blocking light from a distant star? And they break it down a lot more here. They are more on the debunking type thing, that this is most likely not not anything. It's not a Dyson sphere. It's not made by aliens, but it's a good article to read otherwise. I'm going to go ahead and let you read it. I just wanted to add that. Let's see. The time it would take to assemble any terrestrial planets is not much longer. They're saying that you basically would, to make something like this, you would have had to be able to take apart a planet, use its actual resources to build this thing. So, um, you know, maybe they were a lot smarter. Who knows? If my man Cuckoo's actually out there talking about it, you never know. So, all right. Now let's take a look at this China floating city thing. Now this is kind of crazy. Um, I'm going to put this on the big screen here, and I'm just using this is free. You know. Look at that. This is just kind of up in the sky floating. Now, you can see down below there are some buildings and stuff like that. So I don't see the exact buildings anywhere in it. When you go under, see how you've got a skyline up here? We've seen stuff like this before, and they did a good job in this article here. As you can see from the news, the particular Mirage is absolutely massive and really does look like a giant city floating in the clouds. If you go down, but how is this possible? This page from San Diego State University offers a nice introduction to mirages and explains how giant mirages such as this one are formed. So if you want to learn a little bit about mirages, I am going to have it right there. The fantastically wrong, bizarre mirages that once scared the bejesus out of the sailors. Here's the one link right here that they actually send you to from that article, but I thought this one was actually pretty cool. See it there? Look at it. I mean, isn't that actually just pretty amazing? It almost would look like a big something floating at you. The mysterious Fata Morgana. Many people question their sanity since the beginning of time when they see these things. Jesuit priests aren't especially known for their heavy drug use, but it would seem that Father Domenico Gardina was tripping pretty hard on August 14th, 1643, looking out over the Sea of Messina, Sicily. Gardina saw a city floating in the air, and so measureless and so splendid, so adorned with magnificent buildings, all of which was found on the base of the luminous crystal. The metropolis suddenly transformed into a garden and next a forest. And the flash all descended into chaos. Huge armies sprang forth and did the towns that he laid waste before the whole mess disappeared. So this is talking about, I guess this was Phantasmagoria. I've actually heard of this book here. Um, but as we keep, I think this actually keeps going down here. Oh, this is the I effing love science version of it, which I love as well. One of my favorite websites. They really stuck it to me one time when I did the coffin on Mars, but they still one of my favorite ones to come to. So, and I love how they just flame it. Of course, the news has got people's imaginations turned up to overdrive, trying to figure out what was going on. Explanations for this event have ranged from a glitch in the Matrix, alternative universes opening up, and NASA attempting to establish a new world order through a project called Blue Beam. Everybody know Blue Beam, Project Blue Beam here. If you're anything and watched any of the conspiracy videos, um, it's pretty interesting. So, however, it appears the explanation is actually a rare type of mirage called a fata morgana. So, as Wired explains, it occurs when the sun heats up. Let's see what Wired actually had. That's the Wired article right there. So that's how I found it. I'm going to link all of these for you. Interesting stuff, I tell you. Lot, as I said, it's gone. The curve has gone from like oh, oh, there's an article laughing at us. There's, oh yeah, water on Mars. Haha, yeah, sure. Oh, structures on Mars. A little bit of media. To just shot through the roof. Everything from water flows on Mars to ancient oceans to blue skies. It seems like the powers that be or whoever is in charge is really trying to warm us up to space and the fact that there's most likely life out there. And when you look on our planet and look around, there's most likely life everywhere we've gone, where it's hot, where it's cold. So why wouldn't it be like that everywhere you're going to go? All right, guys, much love to you. Hope you enjoyed this space news. If you made it here with me, you are one of my people, and I love you. Check out the website. If you haven't joined it yet, come on over. You can even sign up with Facebook. All you do is hit like one button and it just signs you up. If anything, hit like. I had to make a new button. I think I've only got 690 likes on there. So hit that like button for me. Get that going back up. I was up at like 4,000. And when I had to make my new page, they dropped off. So anyway, let's make us look cool at least, Come on. All right, guys, I'm excited. Fall is in the air here. All sorts of good stuff coming in. Thank you for tipping me off. All probably 40, 50 of you emailed me about both of these. The floating city in the sky. Whoa. I think I would definitely wonder if I was having a flashback if I saw that. And of course, what's going on with Kepler, which really, honestly, we have no idea if we're really not going to find out. We're going to point some radio antennas at it, see if they've got TV or radio, and see if we can get anything from them. But really, it's not much of it's not as big as they're making it. So that's why I'm wondering why the push to get everything up there, why the warming up of space. Let me know below. What do you think? So, all right, guys, much love to you. I hope you're having a good one. Peace.